All right, I am really excited today to be here with my good friend Audrey Charba, who is celebrating something rather large. As many of you probably know, this last month she hit diamond. Yay, Audrey! Massive,
Hey, John.
massive. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for jumping on here. I'm excited to talk to you today because I wanted to ask you some questions, particularly pertaining to this rank advancement that you just achieved, you and your
Cool.
team.
I'd love to share because I'm just like bursting kind of with excitement and all that kind of stuff. So happy to share.
It's kind of a crazy reality to settle in, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit surreal just because we had such a hard push in November. And so it's already almost the end of December and I'm just coming up for air in a lot of ways. But already things are, I'm getting to see doTERRA from a whole new perspective already, getting here to Diamond. And
Yeah.
it's awesome. And I'm like super proud of our team and what we did together. Really excited that I've kind of checked that box so that I hope everyone sees that they can do it too. But also like just rearing to go to get those on my team to this place themselves because they want to be here.
Absolutely, they do. And you being the incredible person and leader that you are, I'm sure will have many people be joining you at that rank. So why don't we start, just because, many people in the team don't know you and who you are. Would you mind just kind of introducing yourself and maybe letting people know a little bit about your backstory, how long you've been in doTERRA, where you are at in the world, and all of that kind of general info?
Sure.
Great.
So I am Audrey Charba, but I grew up as Audrey Hess. So I, from Minnesota, came down to Texas to go to college. And that's actually how John DeCessa and I and Kateri all met. We went to the same little Catholic college in Corpus Christi, Texas. And when I say little, I mean little. There were about 30 of us in the biggest year. And so in a lot of ways, I feel like God has been moving in my life toward, meeting the right people. My husband included, we met on the campus as well. God works in amazing ways for our good. And that was all the way back there, kind of driving our meeting, John.
Yes.
And so since then, since our meeting in Corpus Christi, my husband and I, we moved to Austin, Texas. That's central. And we have 7 children, 5 girls, 2 boys. I've been in doTERRA almost 6 years. The first year was all about just using the oils and dabbling and learning. I just breathed and I was a sponge. I wanted to know everything about doTERRA. I accidentally went to the business meeting first. I went to the wrong place. And so when I went to my first doTERRA presentation, I had a really unique perspective because I got to see the company, kind of the inner workings through that first presentation, and was impressed from the very beginning because what I learned at that business meeting wasn't about manipulation and fast cars and beautiful things, in as much as doTERRA is a beautiful thing that we want to share with people and bless other people's lives. And so the seeds were already planted in that first accidental meeting that I wanted to be a part of this movement, this company. I wanted to work with good people like John DeCessa. So it was started 6 years ago, but it took me a full year before I think you first saw that I was kind of sharing doTERRA anyway with people, and I was almost an elite, and you said, I'm going for diamonds. I want good people with me, and will you do that? Will you join us in that journey? And I've been kind of like a Jill of all trades. Like I could dabble in a little bit of everything, but which also meant that I wasn't like a master of many. And so I didn't want to start something new and not finish it. So it took me a while to like give my yes to jumping on board. But when I did, I was all in. So it's taken several iterations of all in, but yeah, it started way back in Corpus Christi, in 2002 when we met. And
yeah, that makes me feel older and older like thinking about that. Yeah, it sure did. Well, we're so glad that you jumped on, and obviously you're quite happy at this point that you did as well. So many incredible things have come from that, and obviously many more things will. I have some questions for you, and I would love to just kind of go through and ask you some of these to give other people's perspective on some of the things that they might find useful, things that will help them in their own journey, and also things that, I'm sure a lot of us are just curious about, regarding you and this process and the things that you did. So if you don't mind, I'll jump into some of these questions.
Sounds good.
All right. So you already acknowledged the fact that when you wanted to do the business, you were going to be all in. But what did that mean to you rank-wise? Like, did you have an expectation for yourself? Like, did you know you were going to get to diamond eventually? Or did you have any kind of expectation about where you would end up rank-wise?
So my husband, Carl, and I attended an elite retreat together. Laura Jacobs had invited all elites to join. And so this was kind of the same timeline as when you invited me to be part of kind of your diamond team.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get on the retreat, I had to get to elite. So that in itself was a commitment. But it wasn't until we together, collectively, husband and I, came to that retreat and listened to what the ranks meant, as far as financially, and got to dream together about what we wanted for our family, that I think I decided, him with me, because I couldn't do it without Carl's support, that we decided diamond was what we wanted to do, probably beyond diamond, right? Because when we got married and we had this kind of plan for our family, what we wanted for it, it was to do life together. And what had happened instead was that he was doing, his computer stuff. He's a computer security specialist, which was mostly the night shift. So he was doing his life. We were doing our life, me and the kids. And sometimes, we kind of passed like ships, and it wasn't what we wanted. And so we were able to dream and have something tangible that could bring that dream to reality. And that's when we wanted diamond. That's when we wanted everything that could bring to us, the time freedom, the financial freedom to raise our family as we deemed best for them, not worrying about, what money meant to those choices. And so it was then that, we wanted diamonds back then.
I love that. So it was really a matter of being able to see the viability of it, how it was really possible, and then connecting that with what you guys wanted for your life and for your family, and the reality that would create. That's when it came into focus and you said, yep, we're doing it.
And that retreat, those moments during that time were so important. Like during this whole month of becoming diamond and after, certain things of that retreat and those decisions that we made keep popping up. Just little things like they had little plastic diamonds sprinkled across our dinner table. And at that time, I was just kind of, that's kind of a cute decoration. But now it means so much more. It's not just a symbol, but all the people that means, that we have helped, and the collaboration and teamwork that has to go into creating a diamond organization. It just kind of like takes my breath away and gives me goosebumps. And all of that, because I'm just so grateful. I could never have done it myself. And it's just something quite incredible.
It truly, truly is. It truly is. By the way, do you still have that little diamond, out of curiosity?
I have several of them because knowing my children, one would not have survived.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several.
We'd be buried in the backyard somewhere or something. Fantastic. I love those visual little reminders. All right. So Audrey, like anybody doing doTERRA, your own journey has had its ups and its downs.
Yeah.
What was it, that kept you going through all of that and kept you on a consistent course?
Number one has been wanting to help people with the oils. That has always been consistent across the board. Never once did I doubt that people need what we have to offer. And so I truly believe that every person can benefit from having oils in their home. And so there isn't a day that goes by that we don't use the oils and aren't interacting in some way with helping other people or hearing of someone who also needs what we can offer. So that was always consistent. Oh gosh. The other thing was that the team, the people that I've kind of locked arms with, they also have their own hopes, dreams, and things like that. So it's never been just about me making Diamond happen, more about listening to them and supporting what they want. And sometimes it's growing together because we have different limiting beliefs of what is possible and wanting them to be better versions of themselves, and asking their permission to kind of give them a kick when they need to get going. And you've done the same with me, John. Thank you.
I was going to say, we all need that, don't we?
Mm-hmm. And so I think that, yes, I know that some people have said you don't do this business well without wanting to quit, once a week, once a day, whatever.
Yeah.
But those kind of little tidbits from other people who have gotten there were always in my mind, that if you don't quit in doTERRA, then you will achieve whatever you want. That was always in the back of my mind. And so, yeah, helping other people with the oils, helping other people with the blessing of the business, those are always things that on hard days kept me going.
I love that. I love that. And how powerful, right? Both of those things, talking about, having a heart of service and actually wanting to help as many people as you possibly can, genuinely help them and make a big difference in their life. And also, how crazy is it that, if we stick with this, and like you said, don't quit, and just if you continue to do the actions and the things that grow, you will continue to go and have success. Like, it's really, really incredibly powerful. And imagine if more people understood that. Like, what would that mean for all of their lives?
I have almost 1,700 people in our organization. And I still do a little happy dance every time I see someone else has enrolled someone, because it totally means that it's beyond me. It kind of reestablishes or the value that we have to offer is someone else gets it, and has been able to communicate it in such a way that was meaningful and helpful. And golly, that will never get old. I hope it never does.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. All right. So obviously you can't get to a rank like Diamond by yourself. You have to link arms, as you said, with like-minded people, with good people. So what kind of people do you look for when you're looking for somebody to be, an important team member and business partner?
So something that you said when I was getting started was, think of yourself in 10 years and, you're on one of those elite retreats, or you're out to dinner celebrating a rank. Like, who do you want around that dinner table? Who do you want to be able to link arms with and spend, all of that work time, but also leisure and fun time too? Because we found in doTERRA that this doesn't feel like work a lot of the time, because we're doing it with friends and people that we really love and respect. That being said, for so much of this journey to Diamond, you kind of take what you can get. You follow the enthusiasm and excitement. And some people, I kind of, as I grew in confidence, felt like I could reach out to people and say, I want to work with you.
Yep.
A lot of times, though, in those beginning stages, it was just, totally like happenstance, that they found a value both in the oils and the business and wanted something better. And, we found a good partnership in that. So I think that, knowing that you can do it any which way, you can find people and go actively seeking people that you don't want to work with, but also you can grow yourself as a leader and work with anybody.
All sorts of people that you never imagined you would ever meet, right?
Never. Yeah.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you. Now, kind of along those lines too, like if you were thinking back to where you were earlier in your doTERRA career, if you could go back and give yourself advice when you were in those early stages of building a business, what would you say to yourself?
You got to be consistent. I would go weeks or months doing very little except kind of maintenance, or if someone reached out to me, I would help them. Mm-hmm. And some of that was, taking long breaks to have a baby or, celebrate birthdays or, whatever, which was beautiful, being able to have those kind of things. But a lot of it was, not taking my business seriously and not thinking of it as a business that needs love and attention and work. So if I could tell myself back then, if you could do something every single day, then you don't have to do a ton of work when you get those big gaps. My friend Janine, I just love when she taught me, just fill it in the cracks, but do something every day. Find those cracks in your day to do something for your business every single day.
All those little 15-minute windows, 5-minute windows. I love that, Audrey. Just keeping everything moving forward more consistently. I think that's very valuable. And I would totally agree with you.
We don't all have hours every day, but I feel like we do have 5-10 minutes. And if we had a very clear idea of what those return on investment actions are, then those 5 and 10 minute increments can be hugely important. But if we're scrolling Facebook and looking kind of like ambulance chasing, right? That's just not an effective use of time, and yet you feel busy. So anyway, right. I would tell my younger, less experienced self, kind of hone in, do the important things and do them every day.
Right. And it even requires, just constantly being aware of your doTERRA business, right? Like making it enough of a priority that you are thinking about it when
Sure.
the cracks of the days come in. So, yeah. Now, what would you tell a person who has been in doTERRA for a little while? So somebody who's kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, but they haven't had great success yet, right? At least not to the level that they want to. What advice would you give that person?
I would ask them to trust the process, but also give us a fair shot. Can we take a step back? Can we look at what we know to be very successful, process, and can we skill up in any way? Because I think when we've been in it a while but haven't been having success, the roadblocks or the speed bumps that we've come across, we feel like, we've done everything, and there's nothing new that we can throw at it to make it work any differently. But what I found instead is that when we hit one of those roadblocks, it's an invitation for us to increase our skill level in some way. Mm-hmm. And so we should never feel like we have learned it all on doTERRA. It's just not the case. And most of us, let's be honest, start with zero competency in sales and network marketing and everything else. So we have a lot to learn. And those of us who do have any kind of business background or sales, there's nuances within doTERRA that need to be learned. So just kind of taking a step back, being humble and willing to learn and change and grow. I think that's what, I would ask of someone who wants to make this work but hasn't had success yet.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. What would you say is the most important way to work with your upline leaders to achieve mutual success?
I think that using your upline for what they are. So, John, you and I, in a lot of ways, got started with doTERRA exactly the same week, like literally.
Yep. Yep.
But you and Duquesa wanted to go for the business right away, and we didn't. And you guys have very specific gifts and talents that you bring to the table that I don't, and I hope vice versa, right? And so I think that if we can use our upline for that collaboration aspect, not that they are giving you a business, not that they are growing the business for you, but that they can fill in gaps where you're lacking and vice versa, and be a sounding board. That's where I think the upline is so helpful. And they've kind of, even if they're just one step ahead of you in the building process, that's enough sometimes just to kind of be that flashlight so you're not stumbling over things. So so much of it is just working together, knowing that the compensation plan is set up so that we collaborate, and wanting the best for our downline, and that your upline really does benefit when you benefit, and just like thriving in that. But you have to show up and you have to do your part. There's no other way to do it.
Very true. Yeah. I think a lot of people are under the impression sometimes that your business will just grow for you. And especially in the early stages, obviously it's not true at all, but it's how cool is it that we get to work together with a group of people, upline and downline, to really create something remarkable that will be sustainable for decades.
Well, and if you ever heard those stories of the folks who started doTERRA, 10 years ago, who didn't have a back office, who didn't have any of the paper tools that we have, and even just, in the 5-6 years that we've been in doTERRA, how far we've come because everyone has wanted the best for one another and is sharing their resources. And, so let's do less busy work and more sharing the oils and growing our businesses. And let's keep that on, keep that culture alive going forward,
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. There's no shortage of information at this point, right? Like, regardless of who your upline is, there's so many leaders out there who, readily, they have videos out there on YouTube. They train anybody, right? Like, it doesn't matter where you are in the company. Like, you can learn from, if you want to do well with this, there's more than enough information out there. I think you and I would both agree that even just in the almost 6 years or so that we've done this, that there's a dramatic amount, way more out there, and much better
quality stuff, not just fluff.
Right.
That change the gameplay, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember when we got started, we were trying to figure out, like, which class tear pads do we use, and all that kind of stuff. And now we have really excellent systems.
Yeah, straight from doTERRA, right in our back office. Awesome.
Absolutely. We are so thrilled for you, Audrey, and for your team and what you guys have created and what you're going to continue to create. So thank you for the unique value that you provide, like all the incredible gifts that you bring to the whole team. Like, you are a really incredible person. You have such a true heart of service. You are so diligent also with information. Like, you don't just serve, you serve well. You help people well with the oils and in the business. You're an excellent source of advice. Like, if people are looking for advice, they know, so many people know they can go to you and get top-notch advice. You don't steer people wrong.
Well, hey, John, if they haven't already, they should get their own Strengths Finder evaluation, because living in those strengths has become so valuable. and so that I can share my strengths and not a bunch of other, wishy-washy stuff. So,
What are your top 5?
oh, let me see. Hold on. Okay. I have this by my desk. So responsibility is number 1.
Yes.
Connectedness.
Yes.
Context.
Awesome. Explain that one.
Okay. So responsibility is kind of a no-brainer. You need to be responsible, show up when you say you're going to.
Yes.
Connectedness, I like to see why everything has, in its purpose, which kind of flows right into context, that I don't want to just know information, but I want to know what that means and how it can benefit us better.
Yes.
And not to, repeat other people's mistakes, things like that. Activator, that I want to not just know the information, but I want to put it into practice. And then woo means winning others over. So I like to have lots of friends. That makes me happy, but I don't feel like I'm an extrovert. Like I don't go out seeking that, but when people are in my life, I want to, be connected with them.
Fascinating. And I know there's a lot of other people out there that will have similar ones. And I agree with you completely. Learning your top 5 or unlocking the entire thing is very helpful so that you can focus on those strengths that will help you become whatever level leader that somebody is, hoping to become one day. I have a fun question for you. Have you happened to get a special gift from doTERRA in the mail?
I did. So doTERRA sent out to their diamonds some gifts for Christmas, and they came in a beautiful box. I think I might have it, but doTERRA tissue paper. I have one of the gifts right here. It's a blanket that has doTERRA on it.
Oh, yeah.
And that I've been hoarding to myself. All my kids want it, but it's very special.
Yeah, it's a very nice blanket.
And then they were coasters that they're like Scrabble tiles that spell out doTERRA with a diamond. And if anyone knows my family, Scrabble is a very important part. So they did it just for me, if you didn't know that.
That's right. It's the special Audrey gift. That's so fun.
But yeah, they're just so good at making us feel special, whatever rank. But John, even more important to me today was doTERRA collected all of the diamond leaders and put us on a conference call together to give us kind of a heads up of what we're going to be, looking at for the 2019 business calendar, what we can kind of disseminate to our teams to get them prepared. That was just, wow, priceless. I started my, a whole new notebook just for the occasion. And my very first diamond call.
Yes. Look at your responsibility kicking in there already.
Right? Well, I don't feel like I can squander this opportunity, like for knowledge and for, the opportunity to be a mouthpiece for my team and their concerns and things like that. Like I just have this whole new level of respect for the title of Diamond, but also the company, and I want to represent them very well.
And you do, absolutely. And I know you're also in the Diamond Facebook group now, so you get access to all that information there. Yeah, there's a plethora of information there. Yeah. Last question for you, Audrey. How are you planning to celebrate Diamond? Or how have you celebrated already?
Well, the lovely Duquesa and Kateri took me out to breakfast at a really fun hotel in Austin. That was really lovely.
I heard that was great.
The kids and I just did, kind of as a sigh of relief after November was done. We did a sit-in pizza and movie night. But I feel like I need some more time to recover before I can actually celebrate. I have one really fun project in the works though already, because I've been dreaming about how to celebrate my team in this diamond accomplishment. As you know, when you reach diamond and sustain that rank, you get to walk at gala at the convention. And so my sister is a fashion designer, and she's helping me to put together a dress to celebrate all of our teams and their families. So stay tuned for that kind of fun celebration.
A special celebratory dress. That is cool. Cannot wait to see it. Well, my friend, once again, we are just so happy for you, for your entire team. So happy that you're with us in this. And
thank you, John. Thanks for encouraging me.
Absolutely. And there's, as you know, there's many other people in our team now that, we can turn around, continue to pay it forward and continue to help others. So we're going to continue to link arms with you and continue to lead other people to achieve their goals, their dreams. And, especially as we're coming into 2019 year, it's an excellent time for us all to reframe what we're doing, set new goals, and, work together as a team to hit them.
Fantastic.
And
I'm ready.
I'm looking forward to it too. Can't wait for more celebrations.
All right. Very good.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, John.